Hi, I was drawn in MS Paint in about 2 minutes. Unlike GTA 6, which has been in development for something like 8 to 12 years, depending on who you ask and how charitable you're feeling. And when a GTA drops, it's a big deal. At this point, GTA releases are basically historical markers, like, oh yeah, that came out during the Xbox 360 era. They're the gaming equivalent of those frozen bodies on Mount Everest. For real, look it up. Except this time, it's different. Because the gap between GTA 5 and GTA 6 is almost triple the gap between GTA 4 and GTA 5. Which means, yeah, it's probably the most anticipated game release of all time. And that's what makes the marketing so weird. Because when something is this anticipated, the usual playbook is obvious. You drip feed screenshots, you do developer diaries, you make sure the entirety of America is drinking soda from a cup with Master Chief on it. You sell the fantasy. You keep people chewing on something so that the hype machine never runs dry. But with Rockstar and GTA 6, it's like they're doing the opposite. We got a trailer and then nothing. We've seen the release date move twice now, and instead of that cooling people off, it somehow made the fan base even more unhinged. People aren't just excited, they're feral. Every rumor is a headline, every shadow is a confirmed leak, and every LinkedIn update is GTA 6 news. The less Rockstar says, the louder everyone else gets. So here's the idea. What if this isn't Rockstar being late? What if the silence is the strategy? If you were gaming in the 2000s, you remember how hype used to work. The closer the release got, the more information you got. More trailers, more details, more systems explained, until launch day felt like the final puzzle piece snapping into place. From that perspective, GTA 6's marketing should feel embarrassingly weak, right? But hear a doodle out. What if the repeat delays, the lack of detail, the withholding of information that a massive fanbase is so desperate to nibble on wasn't a sign of what we would all typically suspect to be an overly ambitious deadline or a troubled development? What if instead it's all part of the plan? What if the absence of proper hype building as we know it was actually among the most tactful methods of hype building possible? Let me introduce you to something called anti-marketing. Now, anti-marketing sounds like a term invented by a guy trying to sell you a course, but the idea is real, and you've seen it work before. Anti-marketing is when a brand intentionally doesn't do the normal hype behavior, and that absence becomes the message. Scarcity of information, minimal official presence, controlled frustration and mystique, and a bit of reverse psychology. That's what anti-marketing looks like. It's not no marketing, it's marketing by subtraction. And this only works if the product already has a massive cultural gravity. Think of Half-Life 3 and the fervent theories surrounding that. The case of Half-Life 3 doesn't even seem to be an intentional form of this marketing strategy, but it's still there. If some random indie studio tried this, it wouldn't feel mysterious, it would feel like nobody showed up. But Rockstar isn't unknown. Rockstar is a planet. Here's something people forget about marketing. It usually has 2 jobs. First, awareness. Hey, this exists. Second, persuasion. And here's why you should care. GTA 6 doesn't need either. Awareness is automatic and persuasion is pretty much unnecessary. The moment GTA 6 is real, the world reacts. Even people who haven't played GTA since high school suddenly have very strong opinions. So when Rockstar goes quiet, it doesn't create a vacuum, it creates a stadium where everyone else screams into it. And here's the interesting part. Fans interpret silence as confidence. Let them cook. They're perfectionists. They know what they're doing. If you've looked into some comment sections, you've seen all that kind of hopium. Silence lets the audience write the story they want to believe. And the story they want is always bigger, better, and more ambitious than anything Rockstar could safely promise. If Rockstar wanted to, they could have released devlogs weekly for years. They didn't. Instead, they gave you almost nothing. So what happens? Your brain treats every crumb like it's sacred. Supply and demand, that's practically just boring old economics. Scarcity makes information feel valuable. Valuable information creates obsession, and obsession creates the conversation surrounding it. And baby, conversation is free marketing. That's why one trailer can fuel months of content. People zoom in, enhance pixels like it's CSI or whatever, build the maps themselves and predict the plots. Rockstar never has to confirm or deny anything because the community does it for them. Now, let me be clear, I'm not saying delays are good or that this was all meticulously planned by some gaming Rockstar Illuminati. Game development is messy and stuff slips and things break, leaks happen, but from a marketing psychology angle, delays function like gasoline on a fire. Every delay does two things. It reminds the world the game exists, and it reinforces the myth that the game must be enormous. This is taking forever, therefore it must be revolutionary. I'm not saying it won't be, but it could be. And that's kind of the point. Look at the emotional loops fans go through. Disappointment, to anger, to coping, to renewed obsession. And then, okay, but imagine how good it'll be. Turns out frustration isn't the opposite of hype. Apathy is. If people are mad, they're still paying attention. There's another reason this kind of anti-marketing works so well for Rockstar. It protects the product. The more you show, the more you promise. And the internet treats promises like contracts. Every trailer becomes evidence. Every screenshot becomes a courtroom exhibit. But if you show almost nothing, you can't be accused of downgrading features you never showed in the first place. This is also why silence is powerful after leaks. Engaging legitimizes all the chaos surrounding it. Ignoring it keeps the official narrative clean, like the Epstein list. And we already know Rockstar can break the internet on command. That first trailer proved it. So why should they run a long, expensive hype campaign when one button press freezes the world for a day? Now, maybe none of this was intentional, maybe it all just ended up this way. But here's the most anti-marketing part of all. Rockstar's silence forces the community to become the hype engine. Look at how most companies market games. Pre-orders, collector's editions, roadmaps, showcases for showcases, they're practically begging you to care. Rockstar doesn't. They say, we'll speak when we speak. And to a fanbase like this, that feels like a challenge. So fans respond by saying, fine, I'll analyze everything myself. Fine, I'll build the map myself. Fine, I'll keep this conversation alive without you. Too much official marketing would actually kill engagement because certainty kills speculation, and speculation is addictive. Once again, look at the mythical Half-Life 3. So why does this work specifically for Rockstar? It shouldn't even really have to be said, but it's because they have a history of massive releases that end up on everyone's GOAT list, a brand of mystique, a fanbase that treats GTA like a cultural event, and a media ecosystem that amplifies every last whisper, so their silence doesn't read as absence, it reads as power. It's the same reason certain artists can disappear for years and drop one song and it's a headline. Try this with a new IP and it looks like incompetence. Rockstar can do it because GTA is already the biggest conversation in the room. So is Rockstar intentionally anti-marketing GTA 6? Honestly, it doesn't matter. Even if the silence and delays are just development reality, the effect is the same. Rockstar doesn't chase hype. They withhold, and the world supplies it for them. And really, nothing says we run this quite like dropping one trailer, going quiet, delaying the date, and still having the entire internet lose their mind every time you blink. And what makes you more of a rock star than that?